Believer's prayer, that word, that man was a believer, which you are a believer. And let's look at what the man did. We'll take it in the book of Isaiah chapter 38, the verse 1. This is what the English is. In those days, Ezekiel became ill and was at the point of death. So, we look at the king's condition. That is 38 verse 1a. The king's condition. So the king is the person, is the character here that we are going to talk about. And Isaiah and God. These are the three characters we will talk about here. The king was in a condition. A very bad condition. So let's look at the condition of the man. He says that he was ill. So what is condition? The state of something or someone with regard to appearance, fitness or weakness in order. So that it means that if the person is either fitness or weakness, you look at the appearance of the person, you see that no, this man is sick. This woman was sick. So the Bible said that the moment you see the king, you see that the king was sick. He was ill. That was his condition. Then, at the point of also at the point A1, the king was ill, which is A. What is illness? Illness is to get into a condition that you can do nothing. You are totally indisposed. You can't go and come. You can't do anything. People must do everything for you. As a king, people cannot bring issues to you again for you to judge. Once a king, you judge issues. The king could not do anything. He was lying on the bed. And Bible said that 2, this illness has reached its peak. That is point 2. The illness has reached its peak. It means that the illness has gotten to the level that it could do nothing again. Now, when you are sick or you are ill, what do? The first thing everybody does is to consult the physicians. Physicians will assess you and then see what is causing it, give you drugs, show you what to do for you to come out. As a king, we are talking about president of a nation. So what do you think the nation will not do for him? He has gone through all these procedures. Doctors, everything, herbalists, everybody in the town have to fight for the king to be well. But the more they fought, the illness became worse. And the Bible said that it has reached the point of death. There are times in life, things come to us, or things happen to us, or happen to people, that they look for solutions. They come everywhere, they quest for things that will solve the problem. But in their quest, they find nothing. In their venture for solution to these things, it becomes worse. When the man was in this condition, the whole nation was worried. The family was worried. The wife and children were worried. Everybody was crying. They were worried because they don't know, because the more they try solution, it's getting worse. And the point that is reached is death that everybody is waiting for. Then B, God sent a messenger to the king. And every messenger carries a message. If really you are called by God and sent by God, God didn't just call you, no. He said, He sent you with message. And the message you take into your audience. God has sent me this morning to you. So you are the audience. So when they were there in the house, in the palace, early in the morning, before they will see the prophet appear, God sent messenger with a message to the king. Then Before they see this great prophet that doesn't just come to people's house. When they see you, when you enter the house, everyone like, what is the problem? What is the, they saw him appear. So they thought it's a good news because if he comes, they're coming to pray for the king to be healed. Let's look at the message. That is B. God sent messenger to the king. 1 under A. God wants peace after his death. Look at the message. You read. That is verse 1b. The prophet Isaiah, son of Amos, went to him and said, this is what the Lord says. Put your house in order. Because you are going. Then when the prophet told him, the first thing God required from the king that he wanted him to do, God has a way of doing everything. God knew that the king's life, he did not position his things well. If there should be anything today, it means that after his death, there's going to be confusion, agitation, problem upon problems, family will fight for properties, kingship, there will be problems. So in his death, God told him that you would die, but this is what I want from you. Put your house in. So it means that even though you will die, I don't want that after your death there will be confusion. I want peace. I am a God of peace. So I put it and I give one, the message is that God wants peace after his death. Even though you die today, and when you die, you come to me. But your house, check it. Then, 2, I made it, as I said that he said, he told me that I want peace after you die. Then 2, and the message was that you will die after that one. That's why I came to tell you. Then the point 2, this is what I wrote. God made known to the king the outcome of his condition. All of us, always, all the time, we want to know the outcome of whatever we are doing. If I start this, I want to know what the end will be. So they told him that matter your hope that you are having is dash, you die. It's a hard thing. God knows the end of everything from the beginning. And if God said you will die, you will die. If God said you are finished, you are finished. If God said you have life, you have life. When God told the king all this, the king he received this message in the inner chamber, you understand me? In his room where he meets visitors. Then, before Isaiah came out of his room, the inner chamber, his bedroom, to the hall, to the compound, God changed his mind again. Isaiah did not go out, let's say, to the town before coming back home. Before he got out of there, or to the compound, and then getting to the gate, God changed his mind again. The reason why God changed his mind, it means that the death was not sent by God, but the prophet only came to tell him that this sickness will kill you. This will be the outcome. Then let's go to C. After the delivery of this message, the king's action that he took. They say you die. Put your hands in order. Let's see the action. C. We will take it from the verse 2 to 3. 1. This is what he did. Immediately, his attention that was on his ailments, his thinking, he took his attention to God. So 1, he took his attention to God immediately. Verse 2. Ezekiel turned his face to the wall and prayed to the Lord. When the prophet delivered the message to him, after he received the message, the way he was very ill at the point of death, but this man didn't do that.
Yes.
Quickly, Before Isaiah went out of his room, he turned on the bed and started watching the wall. Full attention, full focus, and started talking to God. Number two thing he did. His good deeds gave him confidence to God. Because he did so many good things to God, that gave him confidence to go to God at the point that God said you will die. To tell God that God should do something about the issue. Let's look at verse 3. Remember, Lord, how I have walked before you faithfully with wholehearted devotion, and I have done what is good in your eyes. And Ezekiel wept bitter. Believer, if you have a prayer to work, number one, give attention to God. Number two, the good things you have been doing in life will come back and reward you. Amen. You see that God said you will die, but look at what he told God. And God has nothing to do than to take away death. He said, remember, God, if you are forgotten, it means Ezekiel. Remember, Lord, how I have walked before you. 2, with wholehearted devotion. Ezekiel, what he did was that when he became king, his forefathers allowed people to worship idols. And the pastors and the Levites that were there, they stopped paying the tithes. They don't pay it again. So the pastors, the Levites decided that if that is the thing, they will also not do the work of God again. They are also going to do fast. They are also going to raise animals like they are also doing. So the house of God should be there. And they close it. So everybody in the nation has turned to worshiping of Baal, Astaroth, Monarch, and other idols. But when he was installed as a king, he called all the Levites back and begged them that they should stop and they should come back and come and open the temple. They should come and clear the temple, fix all the lamps, all the incense, the rituals, everything they have to do. They should come and start doing it. And he will call the nation to start doing their tithes, their everything, take care of them. And then all the Levites came back. So he brought one thing we call reformation. He reformed the Christianity or the Judaism at that time, which was lost, which was taken over. He brought it back. And then he stopped the idol worshippers. So Israel began to call on God again. Even though he has other weaknesses and other sins, this thing alone he did. That's why when God said he would die, he told God that, look, I follow you faithfully and wholeheartedly we worship you. So he remembered God. This was what he did. So you see that when you read history about things that people did, kings and other people did, and you follow suit, you know that your generation and your great-grandchildren, none of them will struggle when you die. Anything you do in the house of God will come back later to reward you. He did this in so many years. About 10 years, 15 years later, he referred God. And immediately, hallelujah, hallelujah, immediately, once the prophet left the room to the hall where the kings meet, to the porch, and then to the center of the compound before the gate, then God said, my servant, go back and tell him that I have heard his prayer. He will not die again. So as I bring the message to an end, the man answer was given to him because he gave attention to God. He had confidence to tell God because he did what was good. Now let's look at, after all these things, let's look at God's position. The sickness was not sent by God. That this is God's position. We look at it in 4 and 5. God changed the king's condition. Then the word of the Lord came to Isaiah. Go and tell Hezekiah, this is what the Lord, the God of your father David says. I have heard your and seen your tears. I will add 15 years to your life. He said your enemies said they are finishing you, but I'm adding 15 years to your years. Then after his prayer, because of this prayer alone, God saved Israel, Judea and Jerusalem. One man prayer, the whole town was saved. Verse 7. He said, because of these things you have done for me, your faithfulness, your wholeheartedness that you have walked with me, you have remembered me. My position is that from today, I'll add 15 years, and this sickness, I've changed it right now, you will be healed. And then number 3, Judea, I will save you from the hands of your enemy called the Assyrians. Listen to me. This morning, because of you alone here and your prayers, it is not about only you, your family, your relatives will all be saved in Jesus' name. Hallelujah. Amen. When one person, God decides to save one person, whole nation is saved. So your righteous walking is a serious thing that God requires from you. My beloved in the Lord, as I bring the message to an end, I want us to recap this. And I wouldn't want you to go back to your former things if you really want God to hear your prayer. That's as I said, that these are the things that cause believers' prayer to be heard. Let's recap it. A, the king's condition. We look at that. B, God's message to the king. C, the king's action. And then D, God's position. God bless you. May He be with you. Have a wonderful week. Amen.